baby boy has become the first child in Britain to be born to a mother with a womb transplanted from a deceased donor. Hugo Powell was born in December following a transplant that took place at Queen Charlotte's and Chelsea Hospital. His mother, Grace, was born with MRKH. It's a rare condition that results in underdevelopment of the uterus and was told she'd never be able to have children.
Well, we're very pleased to say we can now speak to the parents of baby Hugo, Grace Bell and Steve Powell. Oh my goodness, look at baby Hugo. Sorry, it's so cute. Congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
You must be absolutely thrilled. Grace, I don't know where to start really, but what an absolute miracle. It's a medical miracle, but I guess it's a miracle for you personally and for your little family as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So when I was 16, of course, I was told that this would never be possible, not in my lifetime. So to be sat here today with baby Hugo next to me is just a miracle. I could not be happier.
And I mean, it's wonderful that he's there. We didn't know he was coming, Sophie and I, as well. We're so enjoying this moment. Tell us the process, and I guess the initial knowledge and disappointment that you thought you weren't going to be able to have children, and then when you reached the news that a womb transplant might even be possible, and then I guess after the transplant being successful, still not knowing whether or not you would then be able to get pregnant.
Yeah, so as you've just explained there, it's been quite a long journey from ultimately knowing that I could not get pregnant and have a baby to today. So yeah, as I said, about 16 years ago, I was diagnosed with MRKH. It was a tough journey, I must admit. A very sad journey, I think, especially seeing a lot of friends and family growing up and having kids around me. Myself and Steve actually went down the route initially of surrogacy, and it was just almost perfect timing for us that I then received the phone call from Womb Transplant UK to see if I was still interested. As you can imagine, I jumped for joy, and yeah, it's been a tough journey, I must admit, but absolutely every bit of it worth it to see Hugo here.
Yeah, like you say, it must be so difficult to get that news when you were just 16. Can you just talk a little bit about how that felt? Because I suppose, you know, all the visions that you have as a teenager of becoming, you know, a mother and having a family must have felt impossible then.
Yeah, so at the time, I'm sure you can appreciate that's already quite a difficult time at 16, being a young woman, to then have this diagnosis. It was devastating. You cannot escape the subject of pregnancy and having a family. And I think, to be honest, it made me want that even more. I remember the story of the first womb transplant in Sweden many years ago now, and just following that story intently. Yeah, and I still can't believe that I'm here today and I've gone through this. It's just amazing.
Steve, I mean, you must have been through yourself an extraordinary emotional roller coaster. But I also, as we're listening there to Grace, kind of going through it all, we're very lucky as blokes, aren't we? I mean, you must be so proud. You must be so proud of what she has gone through to get to this point.
Absolutely, she's an inspiration, and the story particularly for women, gives them hope in the same circumstances as Grace, as you mentioned, Wilf, with MRKH. Yeah, from my part, it's more just being the emotional support. We are in it together and making sure Grace doesn't feel alone in this whole process. I appreciate she's the one that had gone through the transplant, put a body on the line, and got to the point of where we are today. And I'm just there alongside her the whole time.
Oh, it's a lovely way that you've got of phrasing that all. I think a lot of, you know, couples listening will kind of relate to the support that you clearly give to each other as well. I think we can talk to the doctors now too. Professor Richard Smith, the founder of the charity Womb Transplant UK, and a consultant gynaecological surgeon, and Isabel Quiroga, who leads the UK Living Donor Programme, also a consultant transplant and endocrine surgeon. It feels like a medical miracle. Can you just give us a bit of a sense of the science behind this and how difficult and kind of, I guess, exciting a procedure this is.
So it's a great joy, of course, the birth of baby Hugo is fantastic, and it's a long journey that we've been on over many, many years to get to this place. And so, I mean, just an amazing thing. Technically, obviously, quite difficult, these high-risk pregnancies, but we can see mum and baby there on the screen, both looking beautifully healthy. So it's fantastic.
Isabel, this isn't the first. I think I'm right in saying there was one baby born via transplanted womb last year, and as Grace was referencing, the first was in Sweden in 2014.
Yes, you're absolutely right. This is not our first baby, but it's our first baby from a deceased donor. We know that this is technically more challenging internationally, as you say. There's been probably about 140, 150 transplants done worldwide, but we know that the great success comes from living donors. With this operation now, we're giving hope and the opportunity for those women that do not have a living donor of a transplant and of motherhood. Ultimately, what we want.
So I guess my follow-up to that context, Isabel, is could this be? You know, I'm not expecting us to have hundreds of thousands of these any day soon, but could we pick up the numbers as this progress is being made?
I'm sure we will pick up numbers, but in transplantation, everything takes a long time. It takes probably decades rather than years to figure out exactly how to manage patients, how to perfect the techniques of certain different transplants. So we are at this infancy of uterine transplantation currently.
Can I just say how well baby Hugo's done, by the way? He's done it. What a little trooper. He got a little bit bored, I think, you know, partly through the interview.
I was when I was asking a question.
Yeah, he wasn't so keen on that one.
Sorry, Hugo, I was a bit long-winded there, mate.
He's been super good there, I have to say. Just finally, I just wanted to touch on the, I guess, generosity, the ultimate generosity of the donor. And I think I'm right in saying that 5 other organs from the donor were transplanted into 4 people as well. Grace, I guess, what's your kind of message for people who might be considering donating their own organs, their own wombs, and the impact that can have on families like yours?
Firstly, I just want to say how thankful I am to my donor and her loved ones for giving me this incredible gift. As I've said before, this is not a life-saving transplant, but it is a life-giving one, and it's all my dreams and more. And of course, the proof is in the pudding here. We couldn't be happier. So, to any girls out there, I really do hope that and pray that this brings some hope. Those girls that are being diagnosed today.
Well, thank you all for joining us. What a wonderful story. And to Isabel, Richard, Steve, Grace, and Hugo, epic to have you with us. Thank you.